Now it's time for today's perspective. And my guest on the programme today is a man who was born in Gaza and grew up in a refugee camp in the north of the Gaza Strip. He is now a celebrated filmmaker who works out of Ramallah in the West Bank. He's been a busy man of late, directing his own film, Passing Dreams, which is just out. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But he's also behind a project to bring together a series of 22 short films into the film From Ground Zero. It tells the voices of the people of Gaza. Rashid Masharawi, great to have you with us on the programme today. Thanks for coming in. First of all, let's just have a quick look then of the film From Ground Zero. Wow, so many different styles and different films in there. Tell us where the idea comes from to put them all together.
Yeah, From Ground Zero, the idea came in the beginning of this war, after 7 October, the second, third week, after all what the news were showing, I decided to go for the untold stories from Gaza, to give the chance for filmmakers, young filmmakers, men and women, to create films between 3 to 6 minutes. And we start working. It was open to make fiction, documentary, animation, to make even video art, all kind of films. And we work a lot. We work around 7-8 months during shooting and editing during the war. And we end up with this 22 films who were shown in many festivals. And
I mean, it's incredible that that kind of film and all those different films could be made in the midst of a war.
Yeah, it was really difficult. Never in all my life in this film business and production, I never was in production like this, because we was really working under bombing. Sometimes there was no electricity, no internet. Filmmakers was like the others people there, trying to save their own life, trying to move from one place to another. But it was very important for me to focus on art, on cinema, and to go for the personal stories.
And did it give relief, do you think, to those people? Obviously it did to you, but to the people who were out making the films as well?
Yeah. It's been, for me, most of them, they are like the other Palestinians who live in Gaza. Most of them lost relatives, lost houses. They were also refugees and moving during the process of the production from one place to another. The priority was to save the life. Parallel, for me, the priority was to save the story, to save the narrative.
Perhaps inevitably, it hasn't been without controversy, has it? The film was due to premiere at the Cannes Film Festival last year. The organisers pulled it because they were worried about keeping politics out of the festival. Did that disappoint you?
To me, really, it was disappointing me, because I like Cannes Film Festival. I had myself as a director, I had films in Cannes, I had prize in Cannes. I consider Cannes it's an important film festival. It's a big film festival, and I was hoping that Cannes will play his own role to give chance to filmmakers, to what's going on around, what's happening in humanity. We are all sharing this life. Okay, they decided not to deal with politics. Okay, so they decided not to go to Gaza. Then I decided maybe Gaza must go to Cannes. Then I make an event in Cannes with showing films, bringing live filmmakers, inviting press and many people who is really joining and supporting from cinema. It means, you know, we are not politicians. We are filmmakers, and we want to share these stories with all the world through art, through culture, through cinema. I think it was important for me, this event in Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah, it's good that you managed to show it there in your own way, if you like. As you say, an artist and very creative. Second film as well. Let's show a clip of this one. This is called Passing Dreams.
اسمع مني وراجع اللي جاب لك إياها بتجيبها وبتيجي
والليلة بتنام عندي وبكرة الصبح لما بجيبها بترجع على المخيم. أهلاً، شو بتعملي هون؟
أنا جاي معكم بابا.
ماشي يا مريم.
ما بيجينا من ورا خالك كمان غير الهم ووجع القلب.
في شيك على أخوك هيك.
الحمام عندنا لا حواجز ولا طرق التفافية.
لازم نعلم الشعب الطيران.
تعالي.
Yeah, the film there telling the story of a boy, Sammy, loses his missing bird and he goes with his uncle and his cousin to search for the bird. It's a journey that takes him from the West Bank to different places like Bethlehem, Old Jerusalem and Haifa as well. How on earth can you make a film like that amid what's going on?
The Passing Dreams, they call it in French Songe, was shot before 7 October. It means, and me, myself, I was in Ramallah at the same time. And for us, the Palestinians, to work in refugee camps in Haifa, in Bethlehem, in the old city of Jerusalem, I mean, we used to this in spite of all the walls everywhere and all many checkpoints, you know, to go from one place to another. It's really difficult for the Palestinians to move. I mean, in reality, it's very difficult. Once you make a film, it becomes more difficult because you have schedule, you have planning, you have a crew. But one of the idea of the film, it's also to show the landscape, to show Palestine, to show all this beautiful historical place, and at the same time to show the difficulties with the Israeli occupation, with the division between all the places. For sure, it's a very simple story and cinema story, but I think it's very important for the audience to go to see Passing Dreams now, because what they are watching today in the news in Palestine, in Gaza, this is not our life. It cannot reflect the Palestinian society, the Palestinian life. In Passing Dreams, yes, you go to history, you go to culture, you go to landscape, you go to our dreams, let's say, in Passing Dreams. It's really touches the small details of the daily life in Palestine.
And as I said at the beginning, you were born in Gaza, grew up in Gaza in a refugee camp in the north of the Gaza Strip. How has that influenced, do you think, your work?
It means I started with paintings. It's mean when I was 13 years old, and slowly I start to play with video. And when I was 18, 19 years old, I make my first very short experimental film, and then I make films. I think the need of getting out of the refugee camp, of showing other images, trying to reject all what exists in the refugee camp at Gaza, I think it's bring me to paintings, and then it's bring me to cinema. And also it was all the time very important for me to share the Palestinian stories with the world through cinema.
Good to have you on the programme today. Thank you very much for coming in. Rashid Masharawi, the two films, From Ground Zero and also Passing Dreams. Thank you very much for your time here on France 24.